Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns on liquid air on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What up, what up, what up? Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. We are back again into his house. What's up, Chris? The Rakeage Bruce. What's going on, my guy? Happy Friday to y'all, man. It's been a crazy week, been a busy week. Staying with it. Kelly Green week. Absolutely, man. Speaking of which, I forgot about that. So, gotta rock the gotta show off the brim, the fitted, you know what I mean? Old school Kelly Greens. This is a giveaway hat. I'm on when I hit 5,000 subscribers, I am going to give this hat away. So stay tuned. That's why we're trying to grow. Tell your friends. When I reach 5,000 subscribers, I got 2 hats that I'm gonna give away, just like this. And this is the 92 Pro Bowl edition when Randall was at the Pro Bowl. So nice Kelly Green. It's a nice hat. Fitted cap. Keep on the shelf. Look good, look tight. But what's going on, man? We reading through the news, and I saw where everybody's talking about the trade rumors. Everybody's getting anxious. What is Howie Roseman going to do on the deadline? Howie's on the hunt again. You just don't know. But before that, we're going to get to Howie in a minute, but I just wanted to say something real quick. Did you guys hear what Isaiah Rodgers said? I shot a video about this, and I'm gonna put it up in the morning. I'm gonna edit it in the morning. I got sidetracked by the WNBA news with Stephanie White getting hired, so I got sidetracked. But Isaiah Rodgers, did you guys hear what he said? He said he is ready to earn his spot and show that he belongs and try to prove his worth in Philadelphia. What's up, Daniel Berry? And when I heard that, I had to stop for a minute, because as a player, you want to be in that situation. That's the perfect scenario of things that can go right. Yes, he should be starting over Slay, but in my opinion, Slay ain't chopped liver. Far from it. Even at his age as a veteran, Slay was solid until he started getting hurt. He's coming up, dinged up, limping, always limping. You know, things happen. I know things happen, but these are non-contact things that are happening to Slay. And when you always getting hammies, always ankles twisting, always growing, things of that nature, that's age is catching up to you. Them expiration dates on them joints is almost up. So, and I think he knows that. Slay's not a stupid guy. And in my opinion, when he's healthy, he's still better than Isaiah Rodgers, in my opinion. However, Isaiah Rodgers is ready to play now. He's healthy. He can be as good as Slay. He hasn't had the opportunity to play better yet. And that's coming. But he is ready for this opportunity. And that's what I want to see, man. Somebody just being appreciative of the opportunity. And it says as much. This is I'll let you in on this. This is from CBSSports.com, and this was today, about 7 hours ago. Isaiah Rodgers is just appreciative of the opportunity he's getting with the Philadelphia Eagles. Out of football due to suspension a year ago, Rodgers has been biding his time, wanting to show the franchise it made the right move, taking a chance on him. That time will come on Sunday, as Darius Slay has been out of practice all week with a groin injury and ruled out Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rodgers hasn't started a game since his suspension last year and is in line to get the nod if Slay can't go. Well, we all know he's going to play. At the end of the day, here's the key right here. At the end of the day, you want to put things on tape because it's a job interview. But I think my focus here is helping the team. I want to make a lot of plays here so I can stay here. End quote. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You want somebody with a chip on their shoulders, that's looking to prove it. You know what I'm saying? He's looking to, he doesn't want anything extra. He's just looking for an opportunity to prove his worth. And that is exactly what you want. You want those guys with a chip on their shoulders, trying to prove something, and just chomping at the bit to get their opportunity. And now he's got it. Everything worked in his favor. It wasn't politics. It wasn't the numbers game, nothing like that. The same situation that happens on every team. Somebody gets hurt, next man up. You just happen to be that next man. So I am looking for Isaiah Rodgers to ball out this weekend. I am looking for that. I want to see what he can do. He was a starter before everything happened in Indianapolis, and he was a damn good one. You just don't forget that, but you can get rusty. So I'm excited for him. I think he's going to play well, and I am looking forward to seeing 34 ball in the Kelly Green this weekend. That's going to be off the charts, man. Off the charts. Lane Johnson, Dickerson, and Mailata said they told Nick to run the ball. They always going to tell Nick that. That ain't probably nothing new. Yeah, we talked about that last night, man. When I talked about team communications and things of that nature, man, being open to listening to other people. What's up, Cody K? That's the benefit we got with our boy Sirianni, man. Sirianni's come a long way, and he's had his bipolar ups and downs and all that kind of stuff, man. And hopefully it has finally sunk in to, you got to ease back on the silliness, because Philadelphia ain't beat for that. It can be a novelty for a while, but when you're dealing with the attitudes of Philly, that just gets annoying real quick. Whether you win or lose, that just gets annoying. Philly is just that type of place. Don't get on their nerves. You know what I'm saying? So I hope he gets that. We still got half a season to play. And now that we are on the back half of the season, now you're going to see which teams can stay healthy. Because the back half of the season, that is the most important thing. You got to stay healthy. You got to stay healthy. You got to stay healthy. Period. That's what you got to do. So, with Slay in particular, he's had trouble staying on the field. Avonte Maddox has had trouble staying on the field, staying healthy. When they're healthy, it's all good. But that's a big if. That is a huge if. But luckily, we are in a situation now where our numbers in the secondary, our backups, everybody's ready. Everybody's ready. In the secondary in particular, we got a starter at backup. I'm good with Keely Ringo, but I know he's a backup. Avonte Maddox, we might take it or leave it. He wasn't good the last time he was in there. But for the most part, when Avonte Maddox had to play, he's played okay. You can lean on him and not have too many worries because he knows what he's supposed to do, is my point. You don't have nobody in there, that's a rook, that's where somebody's going to try to take advantage of that. Only situation is like that is when they going in there and they cold. Been on the bench all game. So there's some situations where another team could take advantage of it. But for the most part, everybody that's a backup has had snaps, had clock, and they're not going in there like a scared rook and not knowing what to do. That's my point. Next man up, and that next man is ready. So that's a good problem to have. So we'll see what's going on, man. I'm excited for Isaiah Rodgers, and I think he'll be ready to go. I think he's ready to show and prove that he belongs, and our defense is going to be better for it. So now I kept seeing this today. Now I don't know why all of a sudden this kept popping up on the timelines, because this was last week, October 24th. Everybody's talking about Budda Baker. The Eagles, everybody wants Howie to make a big move at the deadline. I don't care if we do or don't. And I'm saying that from the standpoint of I trust what Howie Roseman is going to decide. Because let's keep this into perspective. Howie Roseman don't want to lose either. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to. He ain't trying to catch them L's. He is not trying to do that. Howie Roseman is trying to win the game. You play to win the game. So yeah, it's a lot of rumors. I don't see too much truth to it right now. But everybody's just kind of putting stuff out there to see what sticks. I think a lot of this is social media driven. The media heads on the TV shows need something to talk about. And they know we have a history of trying to make big splashes close to the deadline. So we'll see what's going to happen. I don't think the Eagles are going to do anything. I don't think the Eagles need to do anything. Because what are we going to give up? What are we going to give up to make a move to get an impact player? It really is the question. That's, I'm looking at like, what's it going to be? And I don't think there's anybody out there that you would want to give up too many picks or anything like that for. I don't see nobody like that. Yeah, it's not, I don't see it. Do not see it. So I think we're good where we are. I think we got the guys we need. If you see a deal that you can't refuse, what does that deal look like? So, but I know how he's on the phone. I know he's kicking tires and all that kind of stuff. So this is one of those situations where I trust Howie Roseman completely. Let him go. Let him do his thing. He is the Wizard of Philadelphia for a reason. He's earned it. He's earned it. And nobody can say nothing else about that. His track record speaks for itself. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You can't really mess around with what he has done. You can't do it. He's got a good track record. He's built a good track record. So it is what it is. One of the things I wanted to talk about today is we're going to talk about this guy for a little bit of a minute. We're going to talk about my man, Cosell. Because a lot of people didn't like his comments about Jalen Hurts. Saying he was a thrower of the football. Basically, he was saying he's not that great of a passer. And a lot of people, especially when you're talking about QB1, A lot of people feel some kind of way about Cosell. I like Cosell. As somebody that's trying to get back into and get better at studying film, this is the guy to watch. Greg Cosell. 3 guys I watch when I want to watch film. Greg Cosell, Brian Baldinger, and JT O'Sullivan at the QB school. They will give it to you straight. There's no bias. They call it like they see it. And watching film is different because when you watch film, there can't be any bias. You see what you see. So it doesn't matter if you like a person or like a player or anything like that. You can take all of that out of the table. And if that player that you like threw a duck or made the wrong read or threw an interception, you got to call it because everybody else is seeing the same thing you see. Now, there might be reasons where you can kind of expand on why something happened and give reasons, not excuses, give reasons as to why things happen. That's a different conversation. But when you're talking about Greg Cosell and people that watch film, every film session is not going to be nice. Let me say it like that. We talked a little bit about this last night. When you are in an NFL film session, or hell, when I was in film sessions in college, when I was in the World League, when I was in CFL, if you screwed up, you screwed up. Period. They called I could have rushed. And when my redshirt freshman year in college, I went for 300 yards versus Marshall. 300 yards, 37 carries against Marshall. But you know what? In film session, there was a couple plays where I screwed up. And those are the plays that they always run back. Because they want you to understand that in spite of all the good stuff you may have did, everybody human, everybody going to make mistakes. And they're going to call you for it. And that's what they're supposed to do. Because you got to be able to take your L's. You got to be able to take your lumps. That's the problem with a lot of these young quarterbacks right now. The expectations are so high and there is no room to fail. I'd say this all the time. The people, Jalen Hurts fans, and I'm one of them, but I'm realistic with what I see from Jalen Hurts. I don't think Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback. He doesn't put up those elite type numbers. Not yet, anyways. He has had some damn good games. Now, I would say he was at the elite level in 2022. The way he was playing, the way Shane Steichen had everything rolling, he was at the elite level in 2022. He's not there anymore. That's not saying that he can't get back. But I'm just keeping it real with what I've seen. Now, having said that, against the Bengals, I need to see more of that. And I know he's got it in there, but these last 3 games, we finally seen what type of team that we have. And unfortunately for a lot of people, it might not be with Jalen Hurts throwing for 400 yards. And I'm okay with that. As long as the dub is there. So I'm okay with that. And I say it all the time, man. You ask anybody from any city who's the best quarterback, and everybody's going to have 8 million answers. But the answer is always yes, because I'm not here to change your mind. I don't have to. So when I see the comments, like what Greg Cosell is putting out there, that's just his opinion, because I know he's watching tape. I know he's not pulling shit out of the air. And I know he's not trying to troll like some of these people do on TV and stuff like that, because they got quotas to meet. They got to get viewership and stuff like that. So don't get it twisted, man. A lot of these people say some of this shit on purpose. They put it out there on purpose. They don't believe it. They put it out there because they know they're going to get a response from it. So that's why they do it. They don't believe it, but they're trying to generate the interest and trying to generate you can generate more interest by saying something incorrect than by spitting knowledge, because there will be more people out there that want to tell you you're wrong. So that's why that happens. So I don't get too bent out of shape if Greg Cosell doesn't talk glowingly about Jalen Hurts all the time. That's not his job. His job is to look at the tape. I said the same thing about him. He missed some throws. He leaves the pocket too early. There were different things, but every week is a different season. I say that all the time. Every week is a different season. So unless I see a pattern of bad behavior 2 and 3 games, okay, now the conversation has to change because you see in a pattern. Just like you see good things consistently, you can see bad things consistently. You just got to call it. And you can't have any bias. That don't mean I don't like Jalen Hurts. But I know what it is to watch film, and I'm not talking about broadcast film. And I think I said this. I think me and Tone were talking about this. I watched no. I know what it was. I watched, and I'm kind of mixing genres here. I went back and watched the replay of the WNBA title game because of the controversy with the refs and stuff like that. But I saw a different version of it. They got this thing called above the rim where the cameras are above the shot clock and you can still see the whole court and you can watch the game like that, but there's no audio. There's no broadcast audio. You hear the court, you hear the bounces and the, screams and voices of the players, and you hear the natural noise of the event, right? But there's no broadcast audio. And I was surprised to find how biased the broadcast can make you because they are leading a narrative. They are leading you into one direction or the other. And it was kind of refreshing because I'm looking at it and I know I've already watched the game. I watched it live. So when I'm watching it again, I know the big plays and the big controversial calls and no calls that happen. But when you watch it and there's no broadcast audio, it looks different. Well, that foul wasn't that hard. And that's the same thing that happens when you're talking about football. If you watch a game, if you watch the all 22 tape, or if you go on NFL.com and just watch the sideline view from the website and you can't hear anything, it looks totally different. You don't have the ups and downs of the broadcast crew telling you who dropped the pass and this, that, and the other. So it's a different experience. And you tend to see things for what it is, or you even miss it sometimes. You even miss plays sometimes because you realize that play wasn't a big deal. They just made it a big deal on the broadcast. People don't really understand how big of a production the broadcast is. They don't know everything. If you're an Eagles fan and you've ever seen, you ever watched the local broadcast of an Eagles game, every now and then they will get a shot of Merrill Reese and Mike Quick up in the booth. And they're sitting down. They're going there doing, bouncing off each other, play-by-play. Merrill Reese is play-by-play. Mike Quick is color. And they bouncing stuff but I always like to see that view because you see all of them people behind them moving around and shoveling notes in front of their faces. That's how you think they know all of the players and all of the players on the other team. They got a shit ton of notes. And everybody's sending them. Oh, this is the first time he's caught 3 passes in the last 6 games. And the last time he had a touchdown was week 2 versus the Panthers. Or somebody is feeding them all of that information. So they don't know it. And the rise and falls and crescendos that happen during the game, they're generating that. That's why they get paid to do what they do. They're good at it. Merrill Reese, that voice, you're so used to hearing it. And it brings out emotion in you. If you're watching the game, take that away and you can just watch the game and focus on what was happening. And some of those big plays or some of those controversial calls don't seem so controversial because you got that element out of it. You can see exactly what it is and for what it is. National media, yeah, and even a little bit of a local, because you got some people that hate Jalen. Jalen is never going to take you to the Super Bowl and win you a championship, blah, 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 blah. So you're always going to have people like that. Period. And I go back again. I don't, it is not my place to try to convince you one way or the other. Your opinion is yours. I am not going to convince you that Jalen Hurts should be a franchise quarterback. If you don't think he should be, you don't think he should be. The only thing that's going to change your mind is if Jalen gets out on that field and he keeps winning. That's the only thing that's going to change your mind. And even then, people are still going to bitch, moan, and complain about it. If we don't lose another game to the end of the season and we make the playoffs, people will still be mad because he didn't throw the ball enough. Or because he doesn't throw for 4,000 yards a year, he can't be considered elite, or he can't. They always want to throw these. They want to move the goalposts, like they say. They want to move the goalposts because I can always name you other quarterbacks, other players that are doing all of these great things, throwing the ball 5,500 yards and all of that kind of stuff, and ain't none of them won a thing. They talk so high about Aaron Rodgers. When's the last time Aaron Rodgers been to the Super Bowl? That was, a lot of people forget when it happened. Same thing with Lamar. As good as Lamar is, dude, you got beat by Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. Everybody gets a turn. Everybody gets a turn. So whoever you want to believe, that's up for you. The only thing that's going to change your mind is for the naysayers about Jalen Hurts. The only thing that's going to change your mind is if he keeps winning. Period. That's the only thing that'll change his mind or change some fans' mind. Yeah, they move the goalpost. Yeah, they do that. They do that. And now I will acknowledge that a lot of times the national media, because they're not in Philadelphia. So what do? They call their friends in the business who have contacts in Philadelphia. They get a quote and they take that quote and they run with it. And they still don't do their homework. Their homework is checking with somebody in Philadelphia. And sometimes that person in Philadelphia might have a bias one way or the other. So it's not necessarily a confident perspective. So you get what you get. Ain't nothing you can do about it. But you already know when you hear some of the rhetoric that you hear, you know who pays attention and who doesn't. That's easy to figure out. So, Chris, to your point, yeah, they always moving the goalposts. And it does seem like they move the goalposts a little bit more with Jalen Hurts. I don't understand it, but I think there's such you get such a visceral response from the people that are Philadelphia fans. It just generates more clickbait, viewership, attention. That's what everybody's trying to get. You're not trying to get how many people watched you on ESPN on the cable channel. You're trying to get how many people came to your YouTube channel and checking you out on TikTok and Twitter and all of that kind of stuff. Social media matters more now. So, and I saw the new, we'll get into that later. I want to get into Caleb Williams' dad. We got to talk about that. But, yeah, man, it's everybody's got their own opinion. I don't expect everybody to like us. It's been like that for the longest time. And as the other thing is, we Philadelphia fans, we take pride in being the underdog, right? We like that. No one likes us. We don't care. Hungry dogs run faster. All of that. That was us. That was our moniker. We took that. We own that. So if we want to be the underdog, we can't get mad at the disrespect because that's what comes with being an underdog. They come together. So I always laugh at why people get so bent out of shape when they think we're getting disrespected because Jalen Hurts wasn't in the top 10 on some poll or some list, or the Eagles aren't that good, or whatever the situation is. Why do we care if we own up to being the underdog? If we thrive and get energy from the underdog, moniker. Why do we get so mad at the disrespect? I don't get that. You can't have it both ways. You can't be the underdog and get mad that people treating you like one. What is it? What do you want to do with it? No one likes us. We don't care, but we don't care only if they treating us right. No, don't say that. Just says no one likes us. We don't care. We from Philly, fucking Philly. So you can't have it both ways, man. So people got to get out of their feelings, man. Got to get out of their feelings, because regardless of how you feel, regardless of what they said on ESPN or on Stephen A. Smith or on Unkin Ocho or on The Facility or whatever else you watching, Good Morning Football, all these other shows and whatever, Sunday afternoon, two teams are going to meet on some grass and they're going to handle business. One team is going to stand on business. The other one is not. And that's how it's going to end. So most people can say what they want to say. It's they're your prerogative, man. Your prerogative. So back to the end of the deadline, the trade deadline. Here are, let me see something real quick. Let's see. All right. The trade deadline is next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Trade deadline, November 5th. Got to get it done before then. So I heard what they was talking about with Myles Garrett today. That was stupid. That's not going to happen. I keep seeing Bryce Young possibly could get dealt. Who wants to go to Carolina, though? Carolina, the last 5 years have been god awful. They don't develop their QB. The offensive line is terrible. No. Carolina is the franchise you want to avoid. You thought you were going to save the Browns at one point, but now with Jameis Winston, he gives you a spark. So you don't have that same sentiment anymore. So it'll be interesting to see if the Eagles try to do anything and what all these other teams do. Because you got some people that are unloading talent. They're trying to get cap space because they want to go in this draft and try to refill the coffers and reload. But that kind of gets back into, they don't let young players develop no more, especially at quarterback. They don't develop no more. Or you get a situation now right now, and nobody has on their bingo card. Nobody saw this coming. You got a quarterback tap out in the game? What, during the game? The NFL is a gift that keeps on giving. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. No Cut Sports Podcast. Do you think the Eagles need to make a trade at this time? I don't. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Appreciating the comment. I appreciate your appreciation, bro. Do I think they need to make a trade? I do not. I'm good with what we got. If there's a deal that we can't refuse, why can't we refuse it? Like, who would we have to give up legitimately? The only I could see somebody making a deal for like an edge rusher, because maybe we don't. Maybe they're just not happy with Bryce Huff, and maybe they try to move on from that. But who or what you going to trade? I don't want to give up players and guys. I don't want to ship Will Shipley because he's balling. He's somebody that I see in the future. So I don't know. This is one of those situations. Let Howie do what Howie does. This is, again, I trust Howie completely. Listen, man, you done did it well for this long. I don't see why it's gonna stop. You got the secret sauce. Do what you do. If what you do is nothing, in 2024, so be it. Because I know you'll make it up come draft time. So I'm good. Whatever Howie has got in his pocket, whatever it is, whatever's going to be is going to be. And we're going to deal with it one way or the other. So, yeah, Chris, development is not a thing anymore. It's simply add water. And you want it, and you will have your Pro Bowl biscuits or whatever. It can't. When I was in high school, Troy Aikman came out in 88. So that was my senior year in high school. But you look at Troy Aikman, you look at, trying to think who else. Troy Aikman, you look at Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Drew Brees. I'm sure I'm missing people, and I'm trying to think back to when I was like a teenager in high school, and who were the quarterbacks then. The only quarterback that I remember just like out of the gate was just killing them was Dan Marino. Randall came out and could scramble and do all the things that he could do, but they weren't winning. They weren't going far in the playoffs and all that kind of stuff. So it was always something. Like you saw the best of Randall when Randall went to Minnesota. Randall should have won a Super Bowl if it wasn't for a damn kicker. I say that too much. But I mean, to the point, nobody develops anymore. Everything has to be now. Bryce Young is at the worst end of that manifest. Bryce Young is the manifestation of nobody having patience anymore. Go back. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do this right now while y'all are here. Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna do Troy Aikman stats. That's what I'm looking for. Pro Football Reference. Leaderboards, passing. There we go. All right. 89. So let me bring y'all in on this. So check this out. So Troy Aikman, 89 was his rookie year, right? 9 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. 11 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. 23 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Now you starting to see some growth here, right? Look at the completion percentage, 52, 56, 65, 63, 69. 69, 15 touchdowns, only 6 picks. Then you got 13 and 12. Looks like he got hurt because he only threw for 2,600 yards. 14 games. So he played, was that a 16-game season? So it looks like he got hurt 2 games. But still, 13 and 12. Then it was 16 and 7, 12 and 13, 19 and 12. So my point is, 1, 2, 3, it wasn't until his 4th year in the league that it clicked. That's when it clicked. So, and even 14 picks, but he threw 23 touchdowns, but he still had double-digit interceptions. And this is in year 4. Then you go to year 5, and everything starts to get a little bit better through the years. He still had a bunch of years with double-digit picks. And my point in all of this is even the best of the best, or who we perceive to be the best, look at how they struggled their first 2 to 4 years in the league. That has not changed. That has not changed. Look at what CJ Stroud is going through right now. And last year, everybody thought he was going to be a unicorn, and he was good. But when your team starts going through trials and tribulations and injuries and things of that nature, it happens. And the one thing people brought up, because there was a lot of people giving other people, media heads, flack for this on Twitter. CJ Stroud, he's struggling because he don't have his weapons. Well, you didn't say that about Jalen Hurts. Now that goes back to, who was that? Was that you, Chris, talking about them moving the goalposts? They don't give Jalen Hurts the same courtesy. When Devontae and AJ were out, Dallas is still out. And let me be honest with you, they shouldn't. The only problem is they don't keep it even. They don't use the same figures to criticize other. It's an excuse for other people. Jalen Hurts don't get excuses. It is what it is. He should be playing better. Even when you're missing the best wide receiver in the league right now. Other people don't get that. Other people, it's because they're missing players. That's why he's not playing that bad. Jalen Hurts was just playing bad. So it's like, make it make sense. The math ain't math. All that stuff. So yeah, man, it ain't fair. They move the goalposts and they do what they do. My bad. I meant to put the link in there if anybody wants to jump on. I meant to do. I always try to do that at the half hour. Hold on for a sec. There we go. So you got the link in there. Anybody brave enough to jump on and have some comments? Let's talk it out. But yeah, let me try another one. I want to stay on this real quick. And I want to look at Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning is another one where I believe both of them broke records with interceptions. Look at Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is rookie year was 98, 26 touchdowns, 28 interceptions. 26 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 straight seasons with double-digit picks. 28, 15, 15, 23, 19. Good grief. His first 4 years, he had 2 years, his rookie year and his 4th year, he had 20-plus interceptions. He also had 26 touchdowns. 33 touchdowns and 15. 15 is a lot of picks, but when you throw 33 tutties, goodness. But the difference was back then, when you drafted a first-round pick, you were committed to him. You took the good with the bad. You knew that the bad was going to be at least 3 years. You knew that, and you were good, and teams were good with that. It ain't like that no more. It's not like that no more. But the learning curve still is. That's the problem. It still takes three to 4 years to really get it and understand. And the way the NFL goes today, when everybody's getting a new damn offensive coordinator every 2 to 3 years, it's difficult to do. Very difficult to do. The one thing Troy had, I'd have to look. I don't know. When Jimmy Johnson was there, I got to look it up. I don't know who the offensive coordinator was when Jimmy Johnson was there. And how long did Troy Aikman have the same offensive coordinator? Because back then they just weren't firing coaches just to do it. Jerry wasn't as crazy. Jerry didn't start getting crazy until he fired Jimmy Johnson. And then he had one more year of success with Barry Switzer, and then it all went to shit. And then he found out real fast that it's hard to win in this league. And you can't win just because you're the Cowboys. And you let arguably one of the best coaches in NFL history walk away because of your ego. Then you fast forward and you look at us, and we had the same situation when all of that shit went down with Chip Kelly. And Howie Roseman stepped to the side. But Howie Roseman, he understood the assignment. He knew this was I credit Howie because he had to know that Chip Kelly was going to burn out. That drinking all of these protein shakes and all of that kind of shit wasn't going to win you games. So he just waited it out. Took his little office in the corner or whatever the situation was, And he just waited it out. He waited for his opportunity. That's how you know Howie Roseman is down for Philly, because Howie Roseman could have went somewhere else and got a job for sure. But he waited it out, wanted to stay in Philly. And what did we end up with? Ended up with the Super Bowl because of it. So, who knows? I thought he was crazy when he fired Doug Peterson. But that just goes to show you, he knows more than we do. And that's why I say two people on the Eagles I trust completely. Howie Roseman, Jeff Stoutland. Everybody else is iffy. Howie and Stout, Teflon Dons, man. You can't touch them. Can't touch them. Howie is proven time and time again, trade deadlines. And granted, he misses on some. Who doesn't? But you give me, name me another GM that you want, that you would rather have than Howie Roseman right now. But that's easy to say with Doug, but look at what Doug is doing down in Jacksonville. He's struggling. And we're not. And not for nothing, we got back to the Super Bowl. And should have won if it wasn't for damn Gannon. And that bend but don't break, don't put no rush defense that we had. So, he got back to the show. So if, everybody expected everything to fall apart, I did too. Especially after Wentz was playing like he was playing, and then all of a sudden he gets hurt. And I still say Carson Wentz was never right after he took that hit from Jadeveon Clowney. When Clowney basically just planted his helmet in the back of Wentz's helmet into the ground. And I don't even think they called a flag on that play. But what we've been able to do since Doug Peterson, because I was like, why would you fire the guy that just got us to the Super Bowl a year later? That didn't make sense to me. But clearly there were some things going on behind the scenes that nobody knows about. Because I trust Howie from the point where you just don't do that unless you got a damn good reason. You fired the coach that took us to the Super Bowl for the first time in franchise history, and you fired him. I am going to trust that Howie Roseman had a damn good reason to do that. And it's played out. Doug Peterson ain't sniffed the Super Bowl since. I don't even think he's been to the playoffs. Did Jacksonville make the playoffs since he's been there? Since they've had Trevor Lawrence? And again, and this is why I say this, because in 22, when we went to the Super Bowl, okay, thank you, Chris, but he ain't been close to no conference championship. In 22, we went through that whole year, made it to the Super Bowl, and back to the underdog story. Everybody was telling us Jalen Hurts couldn't sustain this and all of this and all of that, right? But I remember making the point to say if Trevor Lawrence and Jalen Hurts just swapped stats, Trevor Lawrence would have been an all-star, would have been an all-pro. I believe that. Because Trevor Lawrence is the stereotype that everybody likes. 6'4", good-looking, arm, all of that crap. The boxes that everybody wants to check. He's tall and all of the stuff, but he don't win when they need him to win. That's the difference. And that goes back to what I was talking about earlier with, I don't care who you think the best quarterback is. If you want to take Baker Mayfield, take him. He beat us. If you want to take Jameis, if you want to take Aaron Rodgers, CJ Stroud, you name it, Jaden Daniels, whoever. Take who you want to take, because eventually y'all gonna have to meet on the field. Trevor Lawrence, his profile would be high as a kite right now if he had Jalen Hurts' stats. Winning. But he doesn't. And he's just another quarterback right now. Josh Allen has flashes. Josh Allen ain't never been to the bowl. But people will swear up and down Josh Allen is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And Jalen Hurts is not even on his level. Okay, Jalen Hurts has just been to a Super Bowl and had arguably the best performance ever for a quarterback in the Super Bowl. Josh Allen ain't been there yet. So, again, I don't pick who you want to pick. That's why I don't argue with people. It's like that. There's nothing that I can say that's going to change your mind. You can only change it on the field. People stuck in their ways, man. It's all good, though. It's all good. We are it leans into the underdog stuff a little bit more, because even when we won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, a backup. Nick Foles is somebody who never finished a season as the starter. Do y'all hear me with that? When he was with the Rams and the other teams where he was the starter, he never finished the year. He got hurt. And I think, like, even as much as we talk about it, I still think people underestimate the magic that Nick Foles had when he took us to the Super Bowl. Do y'all realize he went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady, and Tom Brady didn't play bad. Tom Brady played lights out. He went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady and out-slugged him. Hit him with a knockout punch that Brady couldn't recover from. He went toe-to-toe with the best to ever do it and came out on top. And I still think people don't really understand what that means. Because you can't question whether you want to throw in the cheating or not with Belichick. You can't question the greatness of Tom Brady. He is that dude. And Nick Foles beat him. Beat him out in a shootout. We had to put, how many points did we put up in that game? I always forget what was the score in that game. We had to put up a 40 burger. We had to put up a 40 burger to beat Tom Brady. And we did it. Nick Foles did it. So that underdog moniker, I'll wear that. I'll take all of that stuff, man. I'll take all of that stuff because we earned it. And at the end of the day, somebody still got to come to our house to beat us. So I like where we're going right now. We're hitting our stride, and this game right here is going to show me. Nah, I take that back. Not this game, because everybody, we are expected to, we have to dominate Jacksonville. We should not struggle against Jacksonville. We need to dominate Jacksonville. And then when we get into this next, when we play Washington and Dallas, we beat Washington and Dallas, then we are one of the elite teams, in my opinion. Because to me, Dallas is like Cincinnati. Their record, they're still a decent team regardless of their record, and they can still beat you regardless of their record. And historically, we struggle with Dallas. When Dallas comes up here, they get the best of us. When we go down there, the games with Dallas, regardless of how bad they might be, it always seems to like be a tight game. We just can't blow them out. So, and I'm expecting that it's not going to be any different. So I'm still of the ilk where I have measured enthusiasm week to week. We got to get by Jacksonville, then we got to get by Washington, then we got to get by Dallas. Now, if we can come out of that 3-0, woof, talk your talk. Talk your talk. If we can get Jacksonville, Washington, and the Cowboys, even though if we beat the Cowboys, we're not going to get much credit for it. We'll get it'll be a lot of fan play between the two fan bases, but it's going to be what the Cowboys think anyways. That's going to be the narrative. Washington is going to be the game. Washington is going to be the game where we say, okay, we the king of the East. We the king of the NFC East. So this kid in Washington is good. Jay Daniels is that dude. They got that pick right. They laughing at everybody that got Caleb Williams and they did their homework and they made the right pick. We always end up splitting with them, Cody. We always end up splitting with them. I said this the other day. It was like we got beat by the Commanders with damn Taylor Heineke. We couldn't. It's always something with them games. Washington and Dallas, regardless of how good or bad they're supposed to be, it is always a knockdown, drag out game. So for once, I just want to go in and just dominate. Dominate. If Dallas is not supposed to be on our level, damn it, we got to show that they're not on our level. But I guarantee you, Michael Parsons will be back and everybody injured will be back on the field and all of that stuff. So it's like whatever advantage could have been had is going to be gone. And once again, it's going to happen on the field. Kellen Moore that'll be a little bit of a revenge game for him. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if we still healthy and all of that kind of stuff. Because knock on wood, things can change. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah, we've been rocking and rolling for about a half an hour. I guess that nobody want to jump on the mic tonight. It's all good. We'll keep that going. Don't be scared next time. So we'll see what it is, man. I need to see us let's dominate with this win. Offense, defense, special teams, and go into Washington to be ready to rock and roll. Be ready to rock and roll. So it's all good, Cody. I tell you what, all y'all gamers, I will be purchasing Maximum Football. I haven't played a football game in a lot of years, but I've been following the development of this game for years. And strictly because I'm just tired of Madden. Everybody plays Madden, and I wanted something different. So I'm gonna buy it. It's a PC game. I don't know if it's on consoles yet, but I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna start playing it. And I was thinking about doing like a Twitch channel or something like that, maybe streaming a game or simming games. You can make your own teams and all that kind of stuff. Listen, I was that close to buying not Madden, but the NCAA 25. I was that close to buying it, and I'm so glad that I didn't. And the funny part is, the only reason I wanted to buy it was because I know now I can play my alma mater. I can pull up Eastern Kentucky and I can play Eastern Kentucky versus Michigan, Notre Dame, or whatever. We couldn't do that back in the day because they only had the big schools on there. So they would shit on the 1AA guys. So, just didn't. I wish I could find an emulator. The only video game that I've been in was Sierra Sports. It was called Sierra Front Page Sports. That was the only video game that I was in. And this is back in like 93, 94. Sierra Front Page Sports. Front Page Sports. Yeah, that was it. 96. That was 98. What was the original? Football Pro, Front Page Sports. This was it. This was it right here. 1993. This was the game right here. Front Page Sports. That was it. Yep. And the instruction manual was a playbook. I remember that. I remember that. Oh my God. I remember this. Oh my goodness. Oh, I gotta send this to Willie T. Look at this. Look at this. Installing the playbook. You have to load your plays. You can make your plays. Man, we spent hours making our own plays. Look at the graphics, man. How like rudimentary the graphics were. And now we got Madden and realistic and oh my God. This was the first video game my name ever appeared in. And this was I think it was the 94 version because the 94 version had the 93 roster and I was on the active roster. So that was the first game I was in. That was crazy, man. And it was funny. Willie T used to kick my ass in this game because I would put in all of the Eagles plays and he sniffed them out right away. He was like, man, get out of here calling that Eagles BS stuff, man. He used to kick my ass in this game. But that was it, man. But I will be playing not Front Page Sports, Maximum Football. Maximum Football. That's the name of it. Because I've been on like Discord with the developers, and they were supposed to send me a package or something, but I never got anything, and I told them that. So I don't know what's going to happen with it, but it's supposed to release next week. Maximum Football. Yep, that's it. It's already early access, but it's supposed to be coming out next week on Steam. So I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna support because I want to see something different. You know, and I pretty much told him as much. I was like, I want to see it succeed. Whether I already know it's not gonna be as good as Madden. I already know that. I just don't want to play Madden. And I just need it to be good enough to where it's playable and I can enjoy myself with it. That's the key. I know it's not going to be some of the things and some of the animations and some of the things you get with a AAA copy of Madden that had $1 million budget. And these guys have been grinding for like 10 years trying to put this game together. So I'm going to support it. I'm going to drop $40 on it and get whatever professional version because they're going to have a free version and all of that kind of stuff. They got they a small studio trying to do their thing, and I'm gonna support it because I want to see stuff like that succeed against, this is David and Goliath. And plus, for me, somebody that's a graphic designer, I love the prospect of going in, creating your own teams, creating my own logos, all of that kind of stuff. Because you already know I'm gonna have an Eagles team. You already know I'm gonna have a Scottish Claymore team. I'm gonna have a pro fan team. Where I'm gonna have a outfit that matches my pro fan logo. I'm gonna have a pro fan stadium. All of that type of stuff, man. That type of stuff is fun to me. The design of it is fun to me. So that's what I'm gonna get into. I do not know, Cody. I do not know. All I know is it's going to be available on Steam next week. So that is going to be PC for me. I don't even play my PlayStation anymore. I never even got a PlayStation 5 yet. Because I used to be a big Destiny player and we stuck with the PS4, but I never made the jump up because I didn't need to. Anything that I wanted to play, man, I spent all this money on this damn GeForce 3080 graphics card because of the stuff I do with 3D animation and all that kind of stuff. I needed a big graphics card. So I'm going to play the games on my PC. The last game that I played was Callisto Protocol. I think that's the last video game that I actually played. Now, I played stuff on my Oculus, my VR unit. But I think the last game that I played on my PC was Yeah, it was Callisto Protocol. I played. It was another shooter that came out. I don't even remember the name of it, but it was supposed to be. It was supposed to give a Destiny its run for its money. It was okay. I played um, the beta when it came out, and it was pretty decent, but I didn't stick with it. So this is something like I haven't, and because I'm doing the podcast now, I just never had time to game like that. So hey, listen, that's what I'm trying to do, man. I would get some people to play just to promote the game and just enjoy it. Um, so yeah, man, I want to put a league together and do all of that kind of stuff. So I'll let you know when it comes out because I'll be playing it, and I might even stream a couple games. That's why I'm trying to look into Twitch and all that kind of stuff. So I've been stuck in my YouTube corner. So Twitch and all of these other channels, I haven't really messed around with. So, but yeah, man, I'll keep it posted, man. I'll keep it posted. So, but I'm gonna get out of here, man. We rocked and rolled for about an hour. So I will see you guys on Sunday. Look for me and Tone's pregame show. I think tomorrow I'll be watching. If Colorado was playing, I always watch Colorado. So I might do a stream after the Colorado game. I don't know. But tomorrow morning I will have the piece I did about Isaiah Rodgers up. So I'll talk to you, lad. Talk to you guys later. I appreciate you joining me. Yeah, Chris, go Birds. And I will see you guys on Sunday. Let's see if we can handle our business, man. Go Birds. I'm out.